Hello and welcome to another session of Karen's Colours. I'm Dr. Karen and these are my colour conversations. The time has come for another monthly reading for all of you according to your birthday month. And this month I'm going to be working with the Healing Energy Oracle. This one is an oracle created by Duguay. He's an author and artist from Uruguay, I believe. Very interesting cards. But firstly, I'd like to welcome back those of you who have been following this series of videos. I certainly hope that you've learned a lot about how colour can influence your life and also how it has the ability to create all sorts of guidance as to how you can react and respond to the various issues that you are faced with throughout each month. I'm coming to you today from a very cold and chilly Australia. And so if I have to stop every now and then just to warm up, please excuse that. If you're new to this channel, you're very, very welcome to stay and learn something that you perhaps have not been exposed to before. I certainly hope that it is something that you will find of interest and maybe even come back. And if you are really interested, just hit that subscribe button. It doesn't hurt to have more people than my 35 subscribers hanging around. All right, so let's begin. Let's now choose an oracle for the people born in the month of September to examine what it is that is likely to help them through the month of August 2025. We'll take that card and pop it under here. And now I'd like a colour reading for people born in the month of September to examine how August will develop for them. Month of September, okay, so you want to pop out and leave that there. For the month of September, to see how August will develop. All right, now, I have a feeling that is the underlying energy, so we might just pop it there. In the past, we have purple on orange. In the present, yellow on purple. And in the future, purple on green. And our underlying energy is grey on white. Right. The most obvious thing we see here is that purple appears throughout the month in each and every iteration. We have purple as the action that has come into the month with you, stuff from the past. We have purple as the underlying energy in your now, the motivation, the drive. And then we have purple once again as the action coming into your future. Right. Purple is one of those colours that can be extremely healing or extremely destructive. It's like ripping a Band-Aid off a sore. Let's see what it has to say here. The underlying energy from the card that popped out on its own, the one that simply had to be seen, was grey on white. White internally means that you've had some sort of shock. There has been an enlightenment, a sudden blast of reality that has impinged upon your unconsciousness, so that now you are either curious as to see what's going to happen next, or else you are blinded by the light to the extent that you feel as though you cannot take in any more. And that is followed through in the real world by feelings of confusion, of not being certain as to which way you're going to react. Being uncertain and confused about your reality means that you're doing things without really knowing what the outcomes are likely to be. And that can be quite disconcerting. If you don't know where you're going or how to do something, then of course where you end up is wherever it is that your unconscious mind, this enlightenment here, has driven you, rather than you having made any direct choices in life. And that can be a very difficult situation to be in, but it can also be a rather exciting one, because what internally drives you through curiosity to find excitement. And in the real world, if you don't know what to experience and you are just wildly going off to experience something, anything, then that curiosity allows you to have all sorts of experiences that are different to what you would normally engage with in your everyday life. Now, in the past, you've had purple on orange. These are both colors of crisis and catastrophe. You've found yourself internally feeling as though you've got no confidence. You've lost whatever ability you had to stand up and be counted. You're no longer feeling as though you are strong and assertive and the sort of person that enables you to get through life the way that you want to be going through life. In the real world, there have been all sorts of other things that have impinged upon you. The purple in the real world has to do with destructive forces. Now, they're generally outside of your control. So things have changed. There have been some fairly major disruptions to the way in which your life has carried on. And those major disruptions have fed into this feeling of insecurity. I don't know what I'm going to do next, because every time I turn around and do something, it gets destroyed. There is a problem here. But the internal part of that confidence is also a need or a drive to get there and recreate that confidence. And you can only recreate that by consciously dealing with the disruptors, by creating those disruptions yourself. Now, how does the underlying energy impinge upon this? Well, the white and the orange together as drivers enlighten the orange and make it harder for you to actually be the same confident person that you were before. You're not able to feel as though you are in charge of the sorts of things that you were planning, the things that you were carrying out. You're finding yourself needing even more to gather together your wits and your courage and to try and stand up for yourself. In the real world, the grey and purple simply darkens the purple down somewhat. It means that you are finding yourself with the sorts of changes that are irreversible. You cannot create something new out of what has been before. You have to find a new way, and that new way comes through dealing with novel situations, uncertainties, finding a new path through confusion, and at the same time learning to reassemble things. Purple can be very strongly a healing color, particularly if you're putting it in the real world. But what are you healing? You're healing from the destruction that occurred as a result of this confusion about what do I do next. Now, when we get into the present situation, that purple has gone internally. So instead of being a destructive force in the external world, it now becomes a seeking for a change internally. And that's always a healing change. You want things to get better for yourself. You're feeling pretty well destroyed as a result of this lack of confidence, as a result of the changes that have happened externally, and as a result of these drivers down here that mean that you've been suddenly hit with a reality bomb, and in the real world, you don't know where to go next. Now you want to fix things. You need time and also the energy too, because there's a little bit of red in every purple. You need the time and the energy to come together to allow yourself to heal. And that often has to do with withdrawal. It's time for you to step back for a moment and do what? Well, in the real world, it's yellow. It is learn something new. Start to take notice of what is going on in the real world, all this confusion and disruption that's happening here, and learn from that. Learn from your mistakes. That's what this is basically saying. If we look at the white and the purple together, that is enlightening the purple. It is making it paler. And the paler it is, the harder it is to get what you want out of life. You want to heal. You want to fix things. You want things to go the way that will make you feel as though you are on the right track. But the paler the purple, the harder it is for you to do so, because you don't really understand which are the things that need fixing and which are the things that you can just let go. The grey and yellow, on the other hand, darken the yellow down. So the lessons that you have to learn right now, the new information that you need to respond to, is very, very real. It's very matter of fact. It's very rigid, if you like. You have particular lessons, particular steps that must be gone through in order for you to learn. So it's not just a matter of picking up any information from anywhere. That's what this white down here is about. That's part of your internal driver. Here, the grey and yellow says, settle down. There are certain things that must be done in a very strict, specific order in order for you to learn what you need to learn in order to fix the problems that you have created yourself back here as a result of this clash with reality. So where does that lead us? Well, the purple once again comes into the future, and again it comes into the action area of the color circle. Now, when purple is in the top, as I said here, it's often disruptions and destructions outside of your control. But in your future, you have the possibility of taking that control. You are still dealing with this underlying force of grey when added to the purple, causes you again to settle down, to become very circumspect, very targeted in your approach to life. You don't have to destroy everything. You can, in fact, be very targeted in what it is that you want to achieve. The white and green make it more difficult for you to escape from what has happened in the past. And even though that urge to escape is still there, there is also a huge urge here to make changes that are going to enable you to feel more comfortable with yourself, to get in charge of your heart, to start to take some sort of control over your values. What is it that you really want out of life? And can you make those changes step by step in order to create what you want? Now, the interesting thing about purple on green is that in the tarot, this particular combination resonates with the Queen of Cups. It is holding out the sort of love that you can distribute to others as well as to yourself. It is caring for things in the real world, whether that be the people around you or the projects that you have in motion. It doesn't really matter. The Queen of Cups is a very caring soul. And this combination here is asking you to become that very caring soul, to stop being the opposite of caring, which is, of course, being selfish. This is an enlightenment with a clash with reality that has been rather unpleasant, and it's been sitting with you throughout the entire month. Now the choice is yours. How are you going to go ahead and make yourself into that Queen of Cups, that sharing, caring, loving energy that comes out of yourself and is able to help others as well as yourself to feel as though you are valued? So let's have a look at the colours that are missing. There's no black, but you do have white. There's no red, but you do have yellow and green. There's no blue or brown, but you do have orange and grey and purple aplenty. There's no pink or cyan. So, what do we have here? These colours represent the skills that you are currently using and will continue to use throughout the month of August. These here are the ones that you're currently not using. And if you incorporate those in your life, they will help your underlying energy, this grey and white, to lead you in a direction where this potential of the Queen of Cups becomes easier for you to navigate. So what are they? Black is withdrawing inside yourself to find answers from your soul's energy. Red is taking charge of what it is that you do, but doing so in a way that is assertive as well as dominant without necessarily having to be domineering. It is energy that can be used for anything. Blue is organization. Do you know what it is that needs to be done in what order and for what purpose? Brown is about ambition, but it's also about stability. How do you create what you need in order to carry on throughout your life by having things firm and honest and also constant within your life? Pink is about love. It's also about vulnerability. Are you able to simply allow people to like you as well as you like them? Without pink in your life, there's often a lack of ability to connect with others. And the other connection colour that is important is cyan. Cyan is bliss. It's being able to feel as though you have achieved what you set out to achieve and have done so in a way that makes you and everything and everyone around you also feel as though there is something positive to be had. But beware, too much cyan, particularly if it's enlightened cyan, can also create stagnation. It stops you from doing things. It forces you to take a break. So which colours are you going to use? You need the best and the worst of these to add into your repertoire. Let's now have a look at the oracle to see what it has to say on the subject. What have we got? The here and now. The future does not exist and the past is gone. Focus on the present moment. Have confidence in life again, because here, now, there is no danger. Everything happens when your soul is ready. The future doesn't exist. The past is gone. Focus on the present. Learn to make the changes that are necessary. And then have confidence in life again, which enables you to move forward, because everything happens when your soul is ready for it to do so. It's a lovely message. Well, It seems like August is going to be a very interesting month, don't you think? I hope you've received something out of it, out of these readings that have been of benefit to you. And I hope you'll be back for the next one in September. In the meantime, please do consider using some of the colours that are missing and enter them into your life, because when you do, you find things do move in a different direction to the ones that are normally signed off as being inevitable in the readings. Remember, it's all about your choices. I certainly hope to see you again, and may your life be filled with lots of colour. And until next time, may the colours that you do bring into your life bring you the sorts of things that you desire and deserve.